Okay, so you're prepping for this cylindrical grinder operator interview. You're hoping to swap out those diamond-tipped wheels, and you're ready to shape some metal and your future. We're diving deep into how to absolutely ace those interview questions, and we're going way beyond just surface level here.
We really want to help you convince them that you are not just a button pusher. You understand the precision and problem solving that this job really demands.
Right, like you're not just cutting metal, you're crafting a perfect and intricate part.
Exactly.
We've got actual sample interview questions for you today, insights from RoleCatcher's Career Guide, and even a peek into how their AI can help tailor your answers, which is super cool.
Yeah.
Think of it as like fine-tuning for your career. So first question, and this one, it always seems to pop up, is what inspired you to pursue a career as a cylindrical grinder operator?
Okay, so this seems like a really simple question, but it's a really great chance to connect your passion with their needs. So they want to hear, what about this field, this specific work that really resonates with you?
So not just like, I like machines.
Right.
But more so.
More like, I've always been fascinated by how precise machining can be. You're taking this raw material and making it exact. Or the challenge of achieving a flawless finish, that really drew me in. So if problem solving is your thing, that's a good one to use.
So it shows that you thought about the craft,
Yes,
not just clocking in.
exactly.
RoleCatcher's Guide also mentions avoiding the generic good salary answer.
Yeah, because, well, it's true, money shouldn't be the only motivator, right?
Right.
Interviewers can spot a lack of genuine interest,
For sure.
you know.
They want someone who's in it for the long haul.
Yes.
Who's passionate about the work itself.
Exactly.
Okay, that makes total sense. Next up, what makes you a good fit for this role as a cylindrical grinder operator? Now we're getting specific.
Yeah, now we're getting into it. This is where you're really going to prove that you did your homework. So what did the job description emphasize? Really connect your skills to their needs.
And this is where, understanding those core abilities from RoleCatcher's Guide is key, right?
Yeah.
It's like mechanical aptitude, knowledge of grinding wheels, all that good stuff.
Exactly. But don't just list them.
Right.
Give examples. In my previous role, I mastered a new grinding technique in a week, which boosted efficiency by 10%.
Whoa, that's a good one.
Yeah.
That's way more impactful than just saying, I'm a fast learner.
Yes, exactly. Show, don't tell.
No, show, don't tell. Okay, I'm getting fired up.
Okay, good.
Hit me with question 3.
All right, so let's talk quality control. How do you ensure your work meets quality standards and specifications? This one's all about precision.
And I bet they're not just looking for, I'm careful.
No.
RoleCatcher emphasizes having a process, right?
Absolutely. Really detail your steps. So double-checking those measurements using calipers and micrometers accurately. It shows you understand the tools of the trade.
Okay. But what about when things go wrong? Because even the best of us, we have hiccups.
Sure.
Things happen.
That's where you demonstrate your problem-solving skills. So don't shy away from past mistakes, but instead focus on how you identified the issue, how you fixed it, and what you learned.
So it's about accountability and taking initiative to constantly improve.
Yes.
Okay, that makes sense. You're dealing with, precise measurements and expensive materials. Speaking of problems, the next question seems like it's right up your alley. How do you troubleshoot and resolve issues with the grinding machine?
Nobody wants to see panic when a machine acts up, so it's all about showcasing your systematic approach. Think out loud. What would you check first if the finish is off? What about strange noises?
This is where that deep mechanical knowledge from RoleCatcher comes in handy, right?
Yes.
Knowing the machine inside and out.
Absolutely. They want someone who can pinpoint the problem quickly and efficiently. Even just basic maintenance knowledge or training can be super impressive.
So even if you're not a full-blown technician,
Right.
showing that you can handle minor adjustments or know when to call for help is key.
Absolutely. It demonstrates initiative and a willingness to learn, which are invaluable traits in this line of work. Now let's shift gears to something that's crucial in any manufacturing environment, which is how do you prioritize and manage your workload as a cylindrical grinder operator?
Okay, time management.
Yes.
Always a fun one. And from the sounds of RoleCatcher's Guide, overtime and tight deadlines are part of the job. They even mention potential for weekend shifts, depending on the employer.
Yeah, that's why this question is so important. Think back to a time that you juggled multiple projects. How did you organize your time? What systems did you use?
So whether it's meticulous lists, fancy apps, Or that mental map that only you understand?
Right.
Explain your process clearly.
Yes, and be ready to discuss how you handle curveballs like rush orders, unexpected issues, without compromising on quality.
Because, as we've established, quality is king in this game. Speaking of kings, shouldn't safety be considered royalty in a job like this? And that brings us to question 6. How do you ensure you are working safely and following all safety protocols?
So in an environment with heavy machinery, safety is paramount. And this goes beyond wearing your goggles. It's about being proactive.
RoleCatcher really stresses that.
Yeah,
Identifying potential hazards before they become an issue.
precisely. Think about scenarios like spotting a trip hazard, safely handling heavy work pieces, or even addressing a colleague's unsafe practice. Share examples that highlight your vigilance.
Because they're not just hiring your hands.
Right.
They're hiring your commitment to a safe working environment for everyone.
Exactly.
All right, we're on the home stretch.
Okay.
Last question.
Let's hear it.
How do you manage quality control when working on multiple orders simultaneously?
Okay.
Sounds like a recipe for disaster if you're not organized.
It is a balancing act for sure. Efficiency is important, but never at the expense of accuracy.
Yeah.
Think about your workflow.
I imagine organization is key here. RoleCatcher's guide really hammers home the importance of precision and attention to detail, especially when things get hectic on the shop floor.
Absolutely. Do you have systems for labeling and tracking materials, checklists, mental routines for each stage of the process?
Sharing your methods reassures them that you can handle the heat even with, like, multiple orders on the go.
Mhm.
Because a pile of messed up metal cylinders is not how you want to make a lasting impression. Okay, before we move on to how RoleCatcher's AI can give you an extra edge in this whole interview process.
Because it really can make a huge difference.
Totally. But first, let's take a quick breather.
It's not just about keeping those cylinders straight, right?
Yeah.
It's about keeping your knowledge base that way, too.
Yep.
So last question from this potential employer. How do you stay up to date with industry developments and advancements in technology?
Right, because anyone can, like, learn to use today's tools.
Right.
But are you the kind of person who's always seeking out that next big thing?
Yeah.
That shows you're invested.
Exactly. This field is always evolving. New materials, techniques, software. Think beyond. I read trade magazines.
Right.
Though that's a good start.
Yeah, because let's face it, like, those industry conferences that RoleCatcher mentioned, those can be pricey.
Yeah.
So what are some, like, scrappier ways to stay current?
Online forums are great for this.
Yeah.
See what problems other people are facing, the solutions being shared. Maybe you took an online course in, like a new machining software.
Oh, yeah.
Or even just watch some tutorials online to kind of expand your skill set a little bit.
Yeah. Even following, like, industry leaders or companies on social media,
Yes.
it shows that you're, like, plugged into those conversations.
Exactly.
It's about demonstrating that learning mindset.
And that never stops, even for seasoned pros. Now, speaking of ways to get ahead,
Yeah.
I'm really glad we're, like, circling back to RoleCatcher's AI.
Yes.
You've been referencing their career guide this whole time, but the AI takes things up a notch.
Okay.
For sure.
Right. Because it's like we've been dissecting these interview questions like it's a shop project.
Right.
But how does RoleCatcher actually help when you're on your own?
So imagine this. I've got a job description, maybe even some generic sample answers, right? RoleCatcher's AI scans that description with a fine-tooth comb,
Okay.
and it identifies the exact skills and experience that this employer is looking for.
Wow.
Yeah.
So it's like having a personal assistant who's also a master craftsperson.
Exactly.
So like highlighting all those key details.
Yes, the ones that you might miss.
Mm.
And then it guides you in tailoring your answers to specifically address those points.
Okay.
No more generic responses. You are speaking directly to their needs.
So it's less about memorizing the, like, perfect answers, and it's more about strategically showcasing what you bring to the table.
Exactly.
But it gets even cooler.
Right.
Oh, yeah. RoleCatcher analyzes your responses, too.
What?
Yeah, so maybe your answers are too technical or they're not detailed enough, or they could use a stronger example.
The AI gives you personalized feedback to help you refine your approach.
So it's not just telling you what to say. It's helping you improve how you say it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And as we've discussed today, how you present yourself is just as important as the skills themselves, especially in a field as precise as this one.
Right. Because in a competitive job market, having that edge can make all the difference.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Now, shifting gears back to what we learned today about the actual interview.
Yes. Let's recap some key takeaways about acing those cylindrical grinder operator interview questions.
Yeah.
It's like we've been saying, it's not just about knowing how to run the machine. It's about really showing them that you are passionate, you're detail-oriented, you're a problem solver.
Exactly. Those are the qualities that make a great cylindrical grinder operator, and those are the things you really want to emphasize throughout your interview.
Yeah, we talked about showcasing your passion for the craft,
Yes.
not just the paycheck, and how important it is to connect your skills and experience to the specific requirements that are outlined in that job description.
Yes, remember, details matter, both in machining and in your interview. So when they ask you about quality control or troubleshooting, don't just say you're careful or good at fixing things.
Yeah.
Really walk them through your process.
Yeah.
Give specific examples that highlight your meticulous approach.
Right, because like you said, showing is always more powerful than telling.
Oh,
And when they inevitably ask about a time that you messed up,
right.
don't panic. Frame it as a learning experience.
Exactly.
Talk about what you discovered and how you improved.
Yes, it proves that you're not afraid of challenges and that you are committed to continuous improvement.
Right.
And speaking of continuous improvement, don't forget to highlight your dedication to staying current with industry trends and technologies.
Because nobody wants to hire someone who's stuck in the past,
Right.
especially in a field like as dynamic as this one.
Exactly.
Mention those online forums, those tutorials you've been watching, even following like industry experts on social media.
Yes, demonstrate that you are curious, eager to learn, and always looking for ways to hone your craft.
So it all boils down to this. Show them that you are passionate about precision, dedicated to quality, and always willing to go the extra mile.
Yes, and with a little preparation and the right tools like RoleCatcher's AI-powered platform, you'll be well on your way to landing that cylindrical grinder operator job.
Absolutely. You've got the skills, you've got the knowledge. Now go out there and show them what you're made of.
Good luck.
And for our listeners, if this deep dive sparked your interest in exploring different career paths, whether it's in machining, technology, or anything in between, be sure to check out RoleCatcher. Their career library has a wealth of information on over 3,000 different careers, so you're sure to find something that piques your interest. Until next time, happy job hunting.